Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for CSI Colour Stories Inspiration, and this is case file 410. So I always print it out so that I've got it to hand, and I've been through my stash of older supplies and I've got a load of bits together, embellishments and papers that I think would work with the colours in the case file. Now this paper in hand is called Library Card. It's Paper and Glue as the range by Echo Park. I can't tell you how long I've had it. It's not got a date on it, but it's, oh, I apologise, it says 2013. Oh, it's 10 years old. I will have kept it. I don't have all my stash from 10 years ago, but I obviously kept it for a reason. I do like these library cards, and today they are going to get used. This is a simple stories paper. Yet again, can't tell you how old it is, but definitely felt it was going to be useful. And I'm just looking for some paper to go on the background there, and I found these black frames, or black and white frames. I'm not even sure who made them, but I'm going to cut them out and see if I can use them on this. So as well as using the colours that are recommended in the case file, you can use neutrals as well, so there's no reason why I couldn't use black in this challenge. So I like the text at the back because this case file is all about reading. It says, "I was born with a reading list and I will never finish." My photograph is about my daughter reading. So I like the text at the back. It doesn't make the final cut, you'll see why later on. But I really like that red paper too, so I'm just looking at some clusters to go behind the photograph. I brought in a punch. It's not on the evidence list, you don't need to use a punch, but I just remembered I'd got one that was like torn from a notepad, and I thought that would be really useful. And then I came across this basic grey paper, which is from their Recess collection, and this one's called Elementary, and I decide that is going to be the base. I definitely don't know the age of that one, and it could easily be another 10 years or more. If you know, please add it to the comments. But I thought the colours, the yellowy, the warmth, I thought it worked really, really well. So it makes a cut, and it's here to stay. So from then, I felt that the layout really started to come together really easily. I brought in some recent Simple Stories embellishments from the My Story collection. That's where the armchair and the potted plants are from, and I thought they really went with the theme as well. I think leaves are on the list, so I'm having an absolute mix here. So I'm thinking as I'm going. I don't stick anything down. If you've watched me before, I'm probably quite frustrating that I actually spend quite a bit of time moving things around before I actually ever stick anything together. I'm trying to make this a horizontal embellishment cluster, I suppose. And I've just used another one of the library cards, punched that as well, just to echo the other one. And I'm going to put that in behind the film strip. And the film strips, they are modern. They're from 49 and Market. And I'm not sure if that's a pewter one. They do a few of darker colours, but I thought that went really well with kind of like the media theme that I'm aiming for here. That little red frame that I'm just putting in there, that's actually sassafras. Goodness, I feel like I'm name dropping from the past. But basically, a lot of embellishments, if I like them and the collection is no longer current, I actually bag them up by colour. So before I started this layout, I got out the bag that was black and white, red and green. And I picked out bits that I thought might be useful and popped them in the tray. So that is why they have all come together. And that's why it's a mix of manufacturers and ages. Because they're just bits and pieces that I've got left over that I felt that would come in useful one day. So because I'd swapped the paper out at the back, I decided I wanted to use a text stamp on the background. So I'm just marking roughly where they went. And I know you're probably thinking, what has she just done, tipping it all back in the tray? But I have cleared the area around me. I know exactly what I had. I did take a photograph as well. And I brought in 2 text stamps that I've got, and I really like this first one. So I'm just using a Distress ink, no acrylic block, because I don't want it to be a complete stamp. I just want it to just mark the background paper so you can see there are words there. I will come in with it again later, because I find that every time I do some sort of mixed media, I end up covering most of it up. And even though I did mark a few dots, once I started adding the ink, you couldn't see them. So I'm just enjoying just adding a little bit. It is an older black ink pad, so it's coming across as quite a grey on that basic grey paper, and then I'm going to come back in and actually put things into place. See, already I'm thinking if that's the way that photograph looks there, I'm going to add a bit more text. And that's absolutely fine. That's what I like about not sticking everything down to start with. Also means that I can now come back in and I will add some dimension and some foam pads as well, just to lift everything off the background. I tend to use double-sided tape, if you've watched me before, because it's quite forgiving and I can actually just reposition stuff a little bit until it actually completely sticks together. So I'm just going to add this tape measure. It's got no other reason, but I just liked another pop of red there in the centre. And I'm going to stick that frame to it so that I can start to build this all back together again. So I'd really recommend the CSI case file challenges. There's 2 a month. You can find us on Instagram and on Facebook. They really get you using your stash in a different way or a different combination. And like this layout, I'm using up older stash to tell a modern story. So you get an image with some colours to be inspired by. You also get some evidence that they recommend you use, and you can a topic suggestion. So this one is favourite hobby or reading, and I'm doing reading. And looking at the evidence, there's a long list, but I will tell you the things that I've used. I've used text print, book or reading themed embellishments, flowers and leaves, teacup, labels, stamps, eyeglasses and stars. So that's more than half of the recommended items, and it does mean that it does challenge you to use what you wouldn't normally, or go outside your comfort zone a little, and sometimes you need that in your crafting and your scrapbooking, I think, to do something different. There is a design team, so there's lots of inspiration out there, so I would really recommend that you check them out. Debbie that runs this, she puts a lot of time and effort into sorting out the case files and providing that original inspiration. So do have a look at us. So I'm actually putting my cluster together. I think that first bit's actually been stuck to the base paper. I know, don't faint that I've gone that far. But if you look at the things that are listed, you'll see them now. You'll see that the glasses are on the books there. Obviously, there's a couple of references to books and reading. There's leaves on those plants. I've stamped text on the background, and I will be adding some black stars very shortly. The stars are from Shenanigans. I'll put the link in the comments. It's a small embellishment business that I run myself, where I make 3D embellishments for journaling, cards, scrapbooking. So based in the UK, so do check us out if you're interested. So I've just put some more paper behind that sassafras frame, just so, because it was crossing over the green library card, and I didn't like the way I could see the card through it, so I've just put some yellow in there as well. And it's just, you don't see much of it when I get the other embellishments in place, but I feel like it's coming together. Just need to get these little books with the glasses balanced, and the black frames from the beginning, they're going to get tucked in as well. I think they help balance the film strip down the centre. Do you know, I'm losing my mind today. And I love that circle. I think that could be scenic route that I put on the photograph. This is your time, enjoy. I did a class with a scenic route teacher, Lael Concur, I think it's definitely Lael, years ago when I first came into scrapbooking, and I think that's scenic route. Anyway, I've gone off track. Here's the finished layout, all stuck down, and there'll be some close-ups as well. Do check out CSI. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so that you get a lot more videos from me. So thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.